Hey guys, what's going on? TheRealOGnick here, bringing you guys another video. In today's video, guys, we're going to be going over the ultimate guide to leveling up your light in Destiny 2. Now, this guide might seem a little late to some of you, but the reason I made it so late is because I really wanted to do it myself on multiple characters, so I can give you guys the real way, in my opinion, the best way to actually rank up your light and do it the most efficient way possible. Now, with that, guys, let's get into it. To start off with, guys, you're going to obviously want to hit the level 20 and complete the campaign first. Once you do these two steps, I do suggest you actually doing the grind on the planets. Now, what this will allow you to do is get up to, in my opinion, the soft cap of 265 light level legendary engrams. Now, these will contain 1 to 2 items as far as gear or weapons, and will help you really gain up your light level up to that 265 mark. In order to do this, you must do public events, open up chests, do loot sectors, do patrols, things like that to get tokens, and you can also collect the consumables, whether it's databases, the algae type thing on Titan, dark light shards on Earth, or the phase glass needles from Io. Once you collect enough of these, you can actually go ahead and redeem them to the vendors. It will actually give you the opportunity to gain legendary engrams up to 265 and higher, but the real soft cap is, in my opinion, 265. And just for reference, it takes about 20 tokens to actually reach that point. Same thing with the actual consumables. It takes around 20 to actually reach a full bar to actually receive one of these items. So keep that in mind when you're grinding. Once you do this, you'll be at roughly the 265 to 275 range, depending on what else you're doing, the amount of exotics you get, and things like that. So that's what the point you will reach, because keep in mind when you're doing public events, you'll actually gain legendary items as far as engrams, and you also gain exotic engrams to help you level up further. So at this point, you will be at around 265 to 275, and you will be getting more opportunities and a better access or light level to then compete in the other opportunities to increase your light level with powerful gear. Now, what powerful gear is gear that you can earn through 5 steps, which are the Raid, the Nightfall, the Crucible, the Clan XP, and the Flash Points. Now, these are available weekly, and what these allow you to do is gain 1 to 2 pieces of powerful gear each week, which will then give you the opportunity to increase your light level, because they do drop relatively higher than your light level currently, increasing your light level, thus giving you more power and increasing your rank. Now, if you do all of these, you can gain roughly 10 pieces of powerful gear, allowing you to, again, that will help you out a ton, as long as you're not getting duplicates or you're not getting items in the same slot that you already got a really good item in. So it can really be helpful. The Raid especially is a really good way to level up. Now, it can be difficult for most players, but I have done it multiple times. You really just need a cooperative team that communicates very well, and you have a really good understanding of what you're supposed to do. Now, I haven't made a guide for the Raid. I might do it if you guys really want me to in the comments below. I'm going to make it a not very much of like, oh, here's what happens when you do this, this, and this. It'll be more of a tips and tricks guide to how to actually complete it in the easiest way possible, get the most amount of skulls at the end, things like that to really improve it. Let me know in the comments below if you guys do want to see that, though. Anyways, if you do the Raid, you'll pretty much get guaranteed a 300 piece of gear, which I've gotten multiple times, and you can infuse that with a mod to then increase it to 305 to really increase your light level a ton. You'll also get a bunch of good weapons, and you'll get a ton of legendary engrams, and if you actually open up the chest there, you get an opportunity for legendary engrams / weapons along with exotic engrams. I've opened up chests in the ventilator room multiple times, and I've gotten an exotic and legendary engram from those, which will drop a very high light. Along with this, you have the thing called Clan XP. Now, what Clan XP is if you are in a currently active clan, every time that there is a new week, you will have to complete 5,000 XP gain, which is meaning you must contribute 5k XP a week to earn a powerful gear piece engram. Now, in order to do this, like I said, you must be in a current active clan that is doing this weekly. Along with this, you will gain a lot of awesome items if your clan is contributing in the trials, contributing in the Raid, this Nightfall, and overall just increasing your clan XP the most. You will gain things like extra glimmer, more items, better damage, things like that, along with leveling up your clan. The biggest thing here, though, are the items. You will gain items a bunch in the clan, especially at the start. You will be getting a bunch of items from Hawthorne because you are leveling up your clan, doing all these sorts of things, especially if you're doing the 5k contribution, you are actually adding even more to that. So you're going to get a bunch of awesome powerful gear from Hawthorne, and you'll even get gear that is a 10 light level, but they are really good pieces of weaponry that you can actually use to infuse into that to make that even a better weapon, so you can actually use that for your own use. So very good opportunity in clans, and I would say right now, if you haven't joined a clan, please 100% do so. It is one of, if not the best ways to get really good gear quickly. Now, if you've done all this and you've contributed to your clan, you've done the raid, you've done the nightfall, you've done the crucible, you've done the flashpoints, you've done all this stuff, you should be at roughly 280 to 290-ish gear score. Now, at this point, you might hit a hard wall if you haven't already. Now, at this point, what I have done, you don't have to do this, you can just wait for next week, but what I have done personally is I had made a second hunter. Now, my first character was a hunter, so I made a second one, and I was actually able to get him to level 20, complete the campaign, and was able to then gain access to complete the Crucible, Nightfall, Raid, and Clan XP. The Flashpoint will not be able to be completed by your second character. I'm not sure if that's a bug or if that's just how they chose it, but you can do the 4 other things, so you can get 8 other pieces of powerful gear to then increase your light level once again. Now, of course, what you're going to want to do is actually transfer over your good gear from your main character to your second character to then allow you to have your light level be normal, so that you can obviously, get the gear that you need at the right light level you need as well. Also, what this will allow you to do is allow you to redo the Rat King, the Sturm, and the Mida multi-tool missions to get better, obviously those exotics, and you get better Drain and Mida mini tool as well. Really good way to increase your light level, and it's something that has been very fun, very fantastic to do, and I suggest doing as much as possible. Now, obviously, this can be really time consuming, but if you're using your time right and you're using the Fire Team Medallion, you can really, and I mean this truly, complete the campaign and get to level 20 within 2 to 3 hours roughly. Now, obviously, if you're doing the right things, this will go even faster, but I say around 2 to 3 hours with the Fire Team Medallions on, and even if you're running with people or not, you can really get your light level up to, or your rank to level 20 and complete the campaign to then unlock the ability to do, like I said, the Raid, Nightfall, Crucible, and Clan XP. Now, if you guys thought you were getting a lot of gear before, this is giving you basically double the amount of gear, allowing you to get even more light and really get you over that 300 hump. Now, I understand that this can be really time consuming and it can be an issue for some, but if you don't want to do this, it's fine. You can still wait the extra week for the next week's raid, Nightfall, Crucible, Clan XP, and Flashpoints to then do that, and that should push you over the actual 300 points. So in my opinion, and if you really don't want to make a second character, if you really grind this game hard, it could take you probably, in my opinion, 2 weeks from starting from nothing to getting to 300 to actually get to 300. That's literally how long it took me, less than 2 weeks to do it. That's why I say, because you have 1 week doing all the raids and everything like that, doing all of that, and then the next week you have to be able to do it all again. That should push you over the 300 level if you're doing it right. For people who may not have all the time for this, the next thing I want to talk about is infusing and mods. Now, this is something that I feel like some people overlook, and some people don't realize how powerful or how necessary this can be to increasing your light level. Currently, what infusing is it allows you to infuse an item that is a higher light than the item you have already. So, say you have, a 290 Merciless, but you have a 296 Man of War, which is my position I'm in, then you can infuse the Man of War into the Merciless to make the Merciless a higher level, but you lose the Man of War. So it's a really good way to increase your light level for weapons that you really want to use. For example, I had a 227 Cold Hearts. I infused that a bunch, and now it's a 298 Cold Heart. I had a 225 Sunshot, I believe. Now it's a 299 Sunshot. Things like that can really increase your light level if you just do it right. For example, if you have pieces of gear from, the raid or the nightfall or things like that are high light level but you won't use, instead of just dismantling it, try to infuse it in a piece of gear you have already or a piece of gear that you want to use in the future so that you can actually utilize it instead of just throwing it away for shards that currently aren't very useful. Again, hopefully Zero will give us some better stuff, but that'll be a whole nother video and discussion. So that's what you can really use your legendary shards for, and actually be able to increase your light level without wasting time or wasting gear in that sense. I really suggest trying you to do that, and any piece of gear you get, see if you can upgrade something that you have already. It doesn't hurt to check, and if it doesn't upgrade something already, and it's not something you want, then you can dismantle it. But be sure to check that for that as much as possible. Also, the next big thing is mods. Mods are a huge deal in this game and something that I feel like people, again, sometimes underestimate and overlook. Mods give you a +5 buff to the defense or the attacking, depending on whether it's a weapon or an actual piece of gear. Now, what this will allow you to do, it'll give you special abilities like recharge your grenades faster, more melee range, things like that, but that's not really the biggest point here. Obviously, you want to get right with your gear, but that's not the biggest thing. The biggest thing here is to make sure that you get those points because it adds up a ton. Now, if you don't have a +5 on everything on your gear or weapons, you're losing 40 light. Now, to some people, that may not be a lot, but in my opinion, that is a ton. Missing 40 light or even 5 to 10 can be a really big deal, whether or not you're getting that 299 or 300. So, it matters a lot. Whether or not it seems like a big number or not, it matters a ton. In order to actually get these mods, you can get them to drop from your Bright Engrams, or you can buy them, which is what I do. Now, Glimmer, in my opinion, is a pretty quote-unquote useless thing. We're going to say quote-unquote is because a lot of people say that, but they don't realize that you can actually buy the blue or rare mods from the actual Banshee 44, the gunsmith, and you can actually use those to buy legendary mods, which you can use for +5, changing the energy or the actual element of the weapons. And what you can do is you can actually buy them even if you don't need them, dismantle them, and then roll for a actual weapon component to actually get a +5 kinetic damage. Now, what this is for is for any legendary weapons you have that are kinetic, because they do not come with this, and you can add a 5 to it as far as damage. To keep in mind, guys, all exotics come with a +5 already. So if you're using an exotic kinetic, you actually do not have to worry. But if you are not, then you will actually have to try to get one of these mods. You have I believe, a 1 in 4 chance of this happening to actually get one. So you do have a pretty decent chance to get one. Just keep going for it because they do help out a ton. For example, I got the Ghost Primus from the raid. I am trying to do that for that weapon to make it into a 300 weapon to help increase my light even more. With all that said, guys, we can do a quick recap just to give you guys a quick briefing on what everything I've said. First, you want to complete the campaign and get to level 20. Second, you want to complete the planets, do everything you can to get those planets to get a roughly soft cap of 265 light to then give you the opportunity to start working towards the actual next part, which are the Nightfall, Crucible, Clan XP, Flashpoint, and Raid. This will then give you the opportunity to jump up to the 280, 290 range, which will then at that point you have the opportunity to either wait the extra week to hit the 300, or you can go ahead and do what I did and make a second character and go through that process again. But this process will be much quicker because you will be able to have many fire team medallions to make the campaign and level 20 grind quicker. Also, you will be able to transfer all your gear from the main character to your second character, so you don't have to deal with getting to that 265 grind up to that 280 grind. With all this being said, this will allow you to hit that 300 spot, and you will be pretty much in a good position to start your next main character. Also, this being said, I talked about making sure you're in a clan. Clans give you a bunch of awesome gear, and there's so many more benefits than you can really think about, especially with Glimmer and you being able to actually utilize the extra items from public events. And like I said, mainly the Glimmer. A lot of people overlook that because you will be spending a lot if you use my tip of modding, where you need to buy those to actually increase your light level even further. Along with this, we talked about infusing and why you should always look to infuse rather than dismantle right away, because even though, yes, dismantling might seem like the faster option and less, I guess, easier option to do, and it gives you more shards, right now that is not the best way to go about it. Always try to see if you can infuse something into something you use, even if you only use it once in a while. If you can infuse it to make it a little bit better, it's always worth doing. Finally, mods are some of the greatest ways to actually increase your light level. You can get up to 40 extra light, or you can lose 40 light, which can be a really big detriment to your light level. Make sure you have all your mods on and you're doing the best you can to work with that. Also, kinetic mods, again, you have to dismantle 2 legendaries and roll for a random weapon mod and hope that you actually get a +5 kinetic weapon mod, +5, to then put on a kinetic weapon that is not an exotic, because like we said, exotics already have these items attached to them already. With that being said, guys, I really hope this helped you. This was really in-depth in my opinion, and I really hope I could help anyone out there with leveling up in Destiny. I wanted to take my time with this and really give you guys every tip I had for the game. If you guys have any comments or any questions or concerns or anything that I said that may have been confusing, please write down your questions in the comments below. I will be very happy to help you guys. I will try to get back to you guys as soon as possible, because I know that you guys really want to do this, so I will try to get to you guys as soon as possible. If you guys haven't already, please be sure to check out the links in the description to my Discord, Twitch, and Twitter. I stream on Twitch a ton. I try to get my community growing over there as well. My Twitter is a great place to keep in contact with me whenever I go live, post a video, gaming news, gaming content. Also, a good way to keep in touch with me. My DMs are open, so if you guys have any questions or anything like that over there, you can feel free to talk to me over there. Also, my Discord is perfect if you're a content creator yourself, whether you're a streamer or a YouTuber. You can post your content in there. Also, there's a great way to connect with people in my community. We have roughly 20 members in there. I'm trying to grow that as much as possible, so if you guys would like to join that, please be sure to. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Please let me know your thoughts. And yeah, that is it for this video, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. And I'm TheRealOGnick, and I'm out. Peace!